What is up, people? Welcome to the Total Body Training Podcast, where I help people get lean, gain muscle, and build confidence. And this is another episode of the Total Body Training Podcast, where we are going to be talking a little bit about you and your fitness goals. And before I go on, I just want to say that today's episode is brought to you by caffeine. I love caffeine. My favorite way to consume caffeine right now is just a regular cup of coffee. And the way I get it is I get a little bit of cinnamon in my coffee because, well, I like cinnamon and it's good for you. And I get a little bit of milk, regular milk or almond milk, usually like regular milks. It's best. I like it best, so I go with that. And actually right here, I'm drinking Theory coffee. If you're watching me, drinking Theory coffee because I love it and enjoy it. So I'll be sipping on this guy as we go along. But today's topic is just try. Just try a little bit. Now, what do I mean by that? In the fitness industry, right, there's this idea, and that is that you just gotta do it. You just got to go for the things that you want. You've got to push yourself. You got to take it to the next level. There's always that like go, 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 go. Like you've got to be the next Rocky Balboa. You've got to be the next whatever, right? You got to achieve your fitness goals now, man. And that is true. You do really have to like buckle down, and you do just have to really do it. And you do have to remain disciplined and focused and pursue your goals no matter what. For a beginner, or what is also true for a beginner, is that message might be a little bit overwhelming. So let's say that you are a mom or a dad who is in your 40s and you've never been the fitness kind of person. You've never really worked out. You just don't really care about that stuff. And you get into your 30s or 40s and your doctor tells you one day, hey, Cheryl, hey, Pablo, you're out of shape. You got to lose some pounds, in the next few months, or we're going to have to put you on medication for high blood pressure, or, we're going to have to give you medication for diabetes, things like that. So you decide to start working out, and you hop on Instagram, you look for stuff, and all you see are these messages from beautiful people who are in perfectly good shape, motivating you, being really intense, being really excited. I'm one of those people. I give that kind of energy, and I think that's great. But for you, when you're a beginner, you might look at that and be like, holy fuck, just do it. I can barely did it, right? So like I barely have ever done much of anything. And so it can be a little bit overwhelming and hard to hear this message of all or nothing, right? It can be a little bit scary. And what I would say is that maybe while it is true that you do have to really put yourself into it and you do really have to focus on your fitness goals, what is also simultaneously true is that maybe that message isn't for you. Now, I personally love the message of like, burn the ship and stay there and work hard and all that stuff. I don't know if that's always the best message for somebody who's a beginner. The all or nothing mentality can be a little bit intimidating and a little bit scary because this has never been you. You have, after all, never been the fitness type if you're a beginner. So maybe, and you can take it or leave it here, maybe an alternate approach to it, instead of overwhelming yourself or putting all this stuff on your plate or making you feel like, it's all or nothing, right? Is to think of it like this. Maybe it's just try. Just try. So we're going to take the idea of just do it, right? Nike slogan, swoosh, right? And we're going to say, you know what? I don't know if I can just do it, but I can definitely just try. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, and this is my own personal way of thinking about it. This isn't founded on any kind of psychology books. I didn't listen to a Tony Robbins suggestion for any of this or anybody like that. So if you're looking for, that kind of mentorship or somebody in the psychology field or therapy field or something like that, step off my channel right now because I'm not going to have that information. This is opinion. But I think that if you say to yourself, you kind of slow down, all right, the message, and you say, I don't know if I can just do it, but I can just try. Whew. Just try. Right? Because then, by just trying, we're slowing everything down. We're saying, it's not this end of the world crisis if I don't lose this weight, if I don't get in shape. It's not this overnight sensation, which there aren't any. No one's an overnight success when it comes to their fitness and their health. There isn't anyone who is. When you say, I'm just going to try, it leaves the door open for you to cut yourself some slack. And I think that in some cases, that might be okay. And here's why. If you go into it thinking it's all or nothing, and you go to the gym really hard for weeks at a time, or you eat really well for, a week or two, and then all of a sudden, something happens. So you make a fuck up. I'm just going to be honest, I curse on here. You fuck up. You make some kind of mistake. Maybe you had a bad day and you go out and you have a Big Mac, or, you get together. I see Rosie's on here. You get together with friends or family and you eat a whole bowl of potato chips, something like that. And you feel like, man, I fucked up. You will feel like a failure. And so if you've got that all or nothing mentality, what can happen very easily is that you can feel like, well, I might as well just give up. You see? So if you're holding on to your idea so firmly that you think that you can't have any kind of flexibility, that you can't give yourself the freedom to sometimes make a little boo-boo, you might be shooting yourself in the foot when you are a beginner. I'm not saying that you should cut yourself slack in every regard or in every way, but I am saying that when you first start out, if you're a beginner, maybe you should just focus on just trying. And just trying would be something like this. I've never worked out. I'm not the fitness kind of person. I'm going to just try to go for a walk every day. Right? It's not so sexy, right? But it'll get you going in the right direction. So you can just be like, I'm just going to go for a walk, and I'll do that for like a week. I'll just try to do that. Right? It's no big deal. I'll put it in my calendar. I'm gonna just try. You go on your walk and you just try. And then, you say, oh, I did that. I went on my walk. So you keep it super chill. You don't need to broadcast it all over Facebook. You don't need to tell Instagram or everybody else, right? You don't need all this social accountability, really. You just say, I'm just gonna try, So you treat it like this casual thing. And then maybe if you need it, you say, you know what, after you've been doing that for a while, it's not going to work forever. Maybe you'll see some results that way. You say, I'm going to try something else, right? I'm going to try to go to the gym. So I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to say, I'm going to get a trainer, maybe, someone like me or someone who knows what they're doing. And you say, I'm going to try a class, and you're going to get with the trainer who has that same kind of mentality. That's what you want. If you're working with a trainer or if you're going by yourself, okay, whatever the case might be, you're just going to try a little bit. If you're going, let's start with going alone. If you're going alone, maybe just trying is you hopping online and finding something simple, some simple like little workout routine, something you can do on your own. Something nice and simple. If you're working with a trainer, right, you're going to want to find somebody who matches that. So somebody who says, we're just going to try. Okay, somebody who's flexible, somebody who is really all about you instead of being about them and their own understanding of how fitness should be, right? The just do it mentality. Somebody who can match that rhythm, being like, you know what, we're gonna try and we're gonna ease you in. Okay, and you just try. You try together on your own in the gym. You go in there and you bench a little bit. You do a few squats, right? You're just trying. It's no big deal, right? And then maybe you have the workout class, or you go with the trainer and you just kind of try, and you and your trainer are like, let's do 3 sets of this. It's, let's see what we can do, the best that we can with the body that we have. We're just gonna try. And you know what? After a few weeks, Or after a few days, why don't we try a little bit more, right? Because eventually what's going to happen is if we just try little by little, we're going to find that we're going to need to push ourselves a little bit more. Because the thing that we were just trying 2 or 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, isn't going to work anymore. Because your body's adapted, right? Your body has gotten used to the stuff that you've done, so now it's time to take it to the next level, right? But again, it's nothing crazy. You're not doing backflips in the gym, You're just going to try a little bit more weight. You're going to try to push yourself a little bit more and challenge yourself just a tiny bit, right? And we'll see how it goes, right? And that day you feel a little bit like you felt the first time that you tried. So you feel a little bit sore and you're like, I like that. I like that feeling of putting out a little bit of effort, right? And, along the way, every few days or every few weeks, we just try a little bit harder. And then we try a little bit harder, right? And before you know it, you start seeing changes. So your body starts to change. You start to feel mentally a little bit more alert, a little bit more awake. You feel better about being in the gym. You feel more confident. Maybe at first when you were just trying, there were dudes in the gym who were being loud as fuck, which I'm, one of those people. I don't mind being loud, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but maybe it's a little scary because after all, you're a mom or dad who's never worked out, or you're just an average person who's not a gym type person. I get it, right? This message is for you. So you're used to it. You're okay with being in that environment, and you feel confident being in the gym. You feel confident, right? So at this point, maybe you set a goal, right? And you start going a little bit harder, right? And you start changing your eating habits little by little. You just stop doing some of the bullshit that was, that you were doing before in terms of like maybe drinking too much or, eating a second helping of food that you shouldn't eat. You just make these little tiny little baby steps, and you're just trying little things here and there, right? For you, this might be a better approach because what we've done is we've eliminated the idea of feeling like it's all or nothing. The moment that you feel like it's all or nothing, right? For the beginner, you might feel like you have to do this no matter what, and this could be a trap for you. Because the moment that you deviate from that or you make a mistake, which you will, right? It's okay. You're a beginner, no one's there to hold your hand every step of the way, and nor should they. You're going to feel fucking devastated when you make a mistake, and that can lead to you backsliding and not trying whatsoever. So I hope that you understand what I'm getting at here, that there's nothing wrong with going slow and taking what we call baby steps, just trying to improve your health, just trying to improve your fitness, and not making it into a big deal. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be Instagram story of the year. It doesn't have to be that you're going to turn into a fitness model or you're going to run a marathon. It doesn't have to be that. Not everybody's motivated by that, right? Some people are just needing to just try and give it some effort, and in time, maybe you can do some of those really incredible, awesome things. I know that's definitely been the case in my own personal life. I mean, I think that for me, and just to share a little bit about my story, for me, I didn't know that I would be where I'm at right now because I had no idea. And the mentality of like all or nothing wasn't something that attracted me when I first started lifting weights. It's not something I could hang with. I wasn't the fitness kind of person. I didn't play sports. I fucking hated that. I lifted weights and things like that, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I just used machines. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't really know, and, I slacked off a lot. I was just experimenting, I guess, with being in the gym. At some point, if you really want to see long-lasting results, you're just going to have to switch over. Like, you can dabble and you can try, but at some point you are going to have to make that change. But right now, you just need to try. And so what I did was I just tried. So when I first started lifting, and I'm not some crazy success story. I'm just sharing personal stories. I hope that's cool with you all. I remember going for a run, and, because I thought, like, the only way to lose weight is to do cardio. We'll talk about that on a separate podcast. But I remember going for my run and being wiped the moment that I ran a block. That's pretty bad. I couldn't get anywhere. I'd run like a quarter of a mile and I would be dead. And I remember thinking to myself, how could I ever do more than this? How do people just look so casual on TV when they're running the Boston Marathon or any of these things? And, what I told myself was, well, it's okay. Like, I'm just gonna work on it, right? And I tried my best, because at first I would get really hung up. When you're a beginner, you can get really hung up. But then I just told myself, I'm just going to try. I'm just going to try little by little. And what that led was to me eventually trying harder and getting in better shape. And little by little, I was like, I'm going to try like a 5K, right? And so I stopped drinking so much and I stopped smoking weed all the time. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to try something a little bit harder. And I signed up for my first 5K. And I was ready, I ran it, and I was in good health, and I felt great. And that's all because I just tried. And then after that, I tried other stuff. I did a marathon, I did other things, and now I'm mostly in powerlifting, power building, I guess you could call it. And it's all thanks to the fact that I started with just trying. And eventually, me just trying turned into me just doing it, right? Me feeling like I'm going to fucking do this no matter what. I'm going to put in my best effort into being the best version of myself, into running this 5K, into running this, half marathon, eventually running a marathon, into, deadlifting, almost 500 pounds, all these different things, right? Eventually, I upgraded to the message that you just need to put everything into it. But for you as a beginner and for me, sometimes the place you need to start is by just thinking that it's okay to just try. Just try. Just little by little, just try, and don't get too hung up on the big term picture, right? Take it little by little, just try. All right, people, thank you so much for tuning in to the Total Body Training Podcast today. Until next time, peace.